We will be starting a series in parenting. And you may wonder, why parenting? This is because parenting plays a very important role in the life of our children and what they become in future. Remember that our children are the future of tomorrow. So we must parent our children intentionally. We must parent our children the right way because there is a way. Therefore, we have to be intentional in parenting, especially in the 21st century. Hi, and welcome or welcome back to Elevate with T. It is very important to identify that parenting is a skill and we must learn the skills. We must seek knowledge in order to be better parents that will bring up better children in the age, in the time that we live. So if you want great children or children that will turn out right, it starts with understanding what parenting is all about. Now, most of us, we had like sequence of events that must take place in our lives. You're told you have to go to school, which you do. Once you're done with school, you get a job, you get married, and you have children. The world that we live in is such that once you achieve a milestone, so to speak, people begin to ask you, what about the next? So you go to school, you get a job, you get married, and you have children. So if you ask anyone, why are you having children? Sometimes they might not be able to give you a valid answer. To some people, it's just to fulfill the next sequence in the order of things. Some might even claim that the Bible says, be fruitful and multiply. But have you actually thought about it? For you to be fruitful and multiply is not only about having children. So before you get to the point of having children, there must be a planning. You must identify that there is a big role that you'll be playing in the life of that child that you're planning to have. You have to talk with your spouse on how you will be able to parent your children effectively and intentionally. Conversations around how many children are you going to have before you even then have a child, because most times people would have the children already and then they begin to figure out, oh, how do we do this, how do we do this? No, the planning, the considerations, the skills should have been acquired or thought about before you begin to have children. So now we are going to look at how you can be a better parent or an intentional parent in this 21st century. The first thing is to acknowledge that the skill is needed, the knowledge is needed. You are humble enough to say, yes, this is a role I need to play as a parent, but I need to be equipped to be to play my part in the life of the child that is that I now have. You seek knowledge, you are humble to identify that you can't just, you can't just do it anyhow. You are intentional. So first is to be humble enough to seek knowledge on the better way to parent the children. The second thing is also to build a parental community. People that you share the same values and ideas. You build that community for yourself. Because they say it takes a village to raise a child. That means, in as much as you can do your best within the four walls of your home, the people you surround yourself with would also have influence or impact on your children. So, building that community of people or parents that are thinking in the same line as you will do you a lot of good. You have to also focus on the goal. The goal is to raise wholesome children. Again, the skills that are needed, you've acquired it. And then you're ready and prepared to be a parent, knowing that you want to raise wholesome children, successful children that will be, useful for themselves and for their world in the future. So your focus is in the future. You're doing the time now so that you do not regret it in the future. You're trying your best now so that your children won't go through any type of trauma that would affect their lives. So it is important that we are seeking for knowledge, knowing how to parent our children intentionally. We'll be going through some tips on how to be a better parent. The first tip I would like to share is that you need to know the importance of the first tip, spending quality time with your children. Nobody else can do it for you. You must make up your mind to be available to parent your children. And the reason I'm bringing that up is we now live in a very fast-paced world. People are busy, working, doing things that would bring them money so that they can make ends meet. And then they do not have enough time for the children. It happens a lot of times. But if you've had a conversation with your partner to say, we choose to be intentional parents, how can we devise ways of still having quality time with our children and not leaving them to chance or leaving them to people that you can't even trust to bring them up for you? You must make yourself available. No amount of money that you may get can take the place of you being an intentional parent to your children. The second tip is that you must know your child's personality type. Our parents brought us up. Probably they had 5, 6 children. They brought each child up, or they brought all of the children up the same way. Is that the right way to do it? You want to know your children, no matter the number that you have thought of having, and you say to yourself, I'm going to understand each of my children, know their personality type, and then be able to help them, parent them with that knowledge. Believe it or not, every child has come with their own blueprints, wired differently, created in the most creative way by God. And the last part, or the last tip I'll be talking about in this video, is that you must know yourself. You have to know yourself to be able to know how you will parent your children the right way. Understanding that there are no traumas that you're still carrying around because of how you were being parented or what you went through during your childhood. You have to be wholesome to be able to parent wholesome children. So we want to get rid of all of the traumas, of all the um, incorrect approach to parenting that might now play a part in how you're parenting your own children. And then begin to acquire all the skills, the knowledge, the strategies that is needed so that we have children that are well, parented, children that are wholesome in this, century that a lot of things have changed. In my next video, I'll be talking about those factors that is affecting parenting in today's world. There are a lot of factors that parents need to be aware of to be able to be better equipped to parent their children. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Like, comment, and share. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.